Hello everyone and welcome back to the 8 Baby Uberhood challenge. The main idea of this challenge is to have a pre-made sim live in all the different Maxis hoods and have a child with another pre-made from each of them. We're doing this challenge starring Lilith Pleasant, who is due to have her baby this round. I also would like her to meet up with Johnny and Rip. She hasn't got acquainted with them just yet, so that's something I'd like to see so we can decide on baby daddy number 2. So Lilith, as you can see, is sitting in her 3rd trimester. I'm not sure why her needs have re-rolled, maybe because she just woke up, but here she is. And she still wants to buy a drum kit, which is the 2nd time she's rolled this once. She's really wanting that drum kit. I don't know if that's going to happen, Lilith. We'll see. But she is quite heavily pregnant now, so we'll see if she has time to meet anyone before the next baby arrives. I guess we'll see. She has been doing a lot of painting, which is great news because I'd like this to be a source of income for her. I think having a job with all these babies is going to be quite difficult, so I think painting could be a good option for her. Last time she did get acquainted with Tank Grunts and they got off to a bit of a rocky start, but they are now in the positives and they do have very good chemistry, better chemistry than she had with Dirk actually. But I'd like her to meet the other teenagers in the neighborhood before getting to set on one, because you know she could have really good chemistry with Johnny or Rip too, so especially Johnny is another popularity sim. And Rip, while he is a romance sim, I feel like him and Lilith have sort of similar vibes, so they could be a good option as well. I'd like to get her acquainted with everyone before we decide. Now she's rolled a want to buy a bass as well as a drum kit. Maybe we will have to get her an instrument of some sort. Perhaps that would be something she enjoyed. Where would we even fit a drum kit or bass in this crappy little shack? Lilith has been getting a little more settled in here. It's still not looking great, but I think she's planning on trying to do up the place a little bit, you know, give it a fresh coat of paint, get some proper kitchen appliances even maybe, because the neighbours so far don't seem to mind her squatting here, and even some of them have been quite helpful. Oh dear, but look at her face. She's evidently a little bit worried about something. I was thinking it might be good actually to give Lilith the hospitality aspiration bonus, because then she's more likely to bring a friend home from school, which we kind of want to happen so she can meet the other kids in the neighborhood. And then I'd also like to give her a family secondary, since we are playing Lilith as someone who wants to have children and is going to be like a very loving mother, or at least trying to be. So I think it makes sense to give her this benefit as well. Okay, the school bus is on the way and she will be able to go to school. We could have her try and do her homework. I feel like I've said before, it probably is not the priority for her at the moment, but I don't know, it's worth a shot. I think while Lilith isn't really that bothered about school, she is aware that possibly having better grades and at least graduating high school would give her better opportunities in the future, and if she wants to provide for her son or daughter, she might need to get a job at some point, so it's something she's thinking about, so she is trying to at least get the bare minimum done. Alright, the school bus is here. We're gonna have to leave that homework for now. I don't think Lilith has ever been taught to study, and there isn't anyone around to teach her, so unfortunately homework is gonna take a while for her. But alright, she's off to school with her, frankly, huge baby bump. I can imagine, I don't know, would the other kids at school be nice about it? I think perhaps they would be. In Strangetown, I think people are fairly accepting, like I say, of odder situations. So she'll be alright, but whew. And we're home from school. Is she bringing anyone with her? Oh, she wants to bring Johnny Smith home. Yes, that's okay. That's perfect. What are her grades like? Not the best. That's fine. Where is Johnny? I got a mod, you see. I didn't want her bringing like Angela or Dirk home, so I have the dialogue for that. But he doesn't seem to have actually spawned, so I'm just gonna teleport him over. And where is Johnny Smith? There he is. Johnny. Oh. I think actually I would like her to have a stereo, because they're very cheap, and I don't know if that might be Lilith's hobby. Alright, again not off to a great start. Let's try and talk a bit more. And perhaps even let's find out if music is indeed her hobby. Of course she puts on the heavy metal station. That's so Lilith. Right, come on, let's try talking to Johnny. Alright, so we're going to talk to him about the mysterious things that go on in Strangetown, which he's not particularly receptive to. I guess he doesn't like people thinking of him and his family as like a mysterious element. But she does have a want to be friends with him, so let's keep trying here. Maybe they could try dancing together. I don't know if their relationship's positive enough. Yeah. Okay, nice. Alright, so I guess they are talking about school. Maybe Lilith would like some help catching up on what's been going on so far. She's not even really enjoying school in Strangetown so far, apparently. It's not going the best between them, is it? Okay, he's talking to her about being an alien. Lilith isn't bothered, of course, by him being an alien. I don't think it's something that would bother her. But Johnny is a little bit older than her and potentially growing up soon. Calling her a beach ball. Oh dear. He's like, well, I don't see any toys for the baby. Is this a good environment for them? She's like, oh, I'm sure I can whittle up something. Okay, we're nearly friends now. Just a little bit more. Oh, and Jenny's here too. I guess it makes sense that Jenny would want to come over and see this situation. She has, of course, taken note of Lilith. And now she's learned from Johnny that she is a teenager living completely alone. I think Jenny would be a little bit concerned about that and maybe want to make sure Lilith is alright. Jenny does seem to be asking where the father is, you know, the boy she's been kissing. Lilith kind of has to explain that he is not in the picture at the moment. Jenny, you know, she's a very nice person, very understanding. She is a nurse, so perhaps she'd offer to help out a little bit. Especially since she's so family oriented. She's talking about music. Interesting, that doesn't seem to be her hobby either. When are we going to find out her hobby? Okay, her and Jenny really are hitting it off, but she does still have this locked want to be friends with Johnny, who is, you know, sitting right there, so... Okay, I don't know if she does have the opportunity to enter college actually, so let's ignore that. Jenny does seem a little bit shocked to see her son getting along so well with Lilith. But Johnny has always gotten along with girls, especially ones who are in difficult circumstances. I think he has a bit of a, you know, not a hero complex, but for sure he's very protective of Ophelia, and I think would be drawn to Lilith as well, seeing that she's living in this sort of hard circumstances in this dodgy little shack. I think we're going to serve some food. It is going to be the usual rubbish because she doesn't have a stove. Yay, we're friends. Okay, lovely. I wonder actually, it might be nice to have Jenny here when Lilith gives birth because she is a trained nurse and I think quite a kind person who would want to help out as much as she can. I'm just sitting in silence drinking these. I guess they don't work like normal meals. Let's see if we can get Jenny to stick around. In fact, I might just make Jenny selectable so that she can't leave. Because, like I said, I'd like Jenny to stick around because she is a nurse and very good-hearted. So I think she would offer to stay and help out. and just, you know, walk Lilith through the birth process. All right, we're saying goodnight to Johnny. Or was that just a hug? Oh, it was just a hug. Oh, well, that's nice. We're already at the hugging stage, are we? All right, let's get Lilith in bed, but we're keeping Jenny playable in the meantime so that she can be around for the birth. Listen to bragging. I'm sorry, Johnny. You can't just sit and brag. She's going to get some sleep. Look, her skin's breaking out. She's stressed. Jenny's making herself at home, evidently. You know, this new friend of her son's. You know, Jenny has every sympathy for her. She's an extremely kind-hearted person, although possibly a little bit worried that, you know, there doesn't seem to be, you know, what's the deal with her parents, I think would be a bit of a question for Jenny. But yeah, she isn't a judgmental type. She lives in a very unconventional family of aliens. She's picked up a little alien book. Johnny's reading his romance novels and she's reading alien books, which is quite fitting, I think. Look at her smiling, thinking about her own husband. All right, she's letting him know quite clearly. She doesn't want him ever doing something like this with Ophelia, especially if they're not married. Is Johnny coming in to say goodbye? Yeah, look at the time. I better go. He does not want to be around for the birth, I think, which, you know, fair enough. He's just a teenage kid. But Jenny's going to stick around and help out. I think Jenny is someone who has a very motherly quality to her and kind of can't help fussing over even someone like Lilith, where Lilith isn't exactly that trusting of adults. But I think Jenny just exudes this, like, positive motherly energy and seems maybe trustworthy, but also it's not like Lilith has anywhere else to turn at the moment. And I think even though she's been very like stubborn about it and very like confident when talking to people, she's got a lot of bluster deep down. I think, you know, giving birth alone would be quite scary for her, so having Jenny here I think is very reassuring. All right, the pregnancy nearly glitched out there, but I think we've got everything working. And it looks like she is about to give birth. Jenny, you're meant to be helping. What are you doing? Well, I guess that is useful. Right. Ah, the little frog outfit. Oh, cute. Come on, Jenny. Come see the baby. Ah, and it's a boy. It's a boy, right? So my headcanon is that Lilith is not her real name. It's a, you know, it's her like cool goth name that she gave herself. So I want to give all her babies kind of slightly gothic-ish names. And since this is Dirk's child, I thought it might be nice to go with a D name. So we're going to call the baby Damien, and that's after Damien, who's the son of the devil from, is it The Omen? Yeah, it's from The Omen. And I don't know if Damien as a name means something a bit demonic. I mainly think of the film The Omen, so that's what we're going with. Damien, baby Damien. Isn't he a sweetie? And here's Jenny here to celebrate. She ran off to take the trash out during the birth, but you know, the intention was there. We're gonna put Damien in the crib. Find out if this is a real crib. Okay, it is. Aww. You get in your crib. And there we have it. Very nice. Technically, we don't really need Jenny anymore, but I think Jenny would want to stick around just for a little bit to make sure everything was okay. But Jenny does have work in an hour, so I guess once she's seen that the baby is settled in, we'll make her unselectable and let her get going. Okay, very nice. I love his little frog outfit. It's one of my favourite baby outfits. Anyway, we'll put Damien away. Aww, little baby. It's funny how she has the want to have a party. I guess maybe we could have a party. But this does now bring up the issue of school. how is she going to go to school and leave the baby unattended? It's not going to work, is it? I guess for now, we're going to have Lilith skip school until she can find a long-term babysitter. I don't know if she would really trust just a random babysitting agency to come round to her, like, dodgy little shack. Alright, let's let Jenny. Jenny's gonna admire her. Very nice. She does have the want to be friends with Jenny. Oh, but Jenny, it's like, I'll watch you give birth, but I'm not having a friendly hug. That's a... Come on, Jenny. Jenny says to her that the baby seems very healthy and I guess goes on her way, or does she? Oh, what's Jenny up to now? She's, of course, can't leave a baby alone for long. Okay, yeah, Lilith cannot bring herself to leave little Damien on his own, so she is not going to be going to school. Yeah, see, Lilith, she's smiling. She seems quite pleased enough with the kid and seems to be reading the arts and crafts section in the newspaper. Jenny, are you going to put that down? Aww. Oh, but he's needing changing. Let's... Give me the baby. Give me my baby. Jenny, put the baby down, for God's sake. Jenny! Oh, can you believe this? Maybe we could put down a change table? Because I think it's plausible that Jenny would give Lilith some of her old stuff from when she had kids. The green one seems more like something Jenny would have, so we'll go with that. But will she give us the baby? Jenny, for God's sake, put the baby down. Okay, good. No. Right, let's change the baby. So we'll put the baby away, and then I would kind of like her to have a stove. And I've just remembered that I have this, which is like a cooktop without the oven. And I don't know, it seems like it would work quite well for this household, right? So I think we'll get that. Although, would it be grungy? Because I guess she's bought this brand new, so... Yeah, let's go with a nice bright yellow. And I do want to keep an eye on who else comes by, because she has not yet met Rip Grunt. And they're talking about Johnny's upcoming birthday. You know, he's an alien, but he also is growing up today. Jenny might be talking about some of the prejudice their families encountered as aliens. Answer the phone. Just in case it's someone important. If it's Kaylin again, I swear. Go away! You're not part of the story, Kaylin. Stop trying to be. And we're very nearly friends with Jenny. I wonder if she'll go in for a hug yet. Let's try. Alright, amazing. More money in the bank. Aww. Okay, and they're friends. Perfect. Yes, I think, like I say, Jenny is someone who would really want to look out for Lilith and make sure that she's alright, because she has this natural motherly instinct. And, you know, they're seeing kids having kids, I think would horrify her a little bit, but she would still feel this sympathy and need to kind of, you know, mother Lilith a little bit. I wonder when she's going to leave. You know, you can leave, Jenny. You know, Lilith will be fine. She's got to want to meet someone new, which is interesting. Who could she meet? She hasn't met Rip Grunt yet. That is something I would like to happen. But how can we get him to show up? I tell you what, let's invite Johnny over. Maybe he'll bring a friend with him. Who knows? It's worth a try. I'm gonna ask Johnny to come around and invite him over. Oh, PT9's here as well. Perfect. Okay, he's coming over. It doesn't say he's bringing a friend. That's fine. That's fine. He doesn't have to. All right, now we've got kind of the whole Smith family visiting. Oh, and that did give her the want to meet someone new. Well, greet Johnny as well. You know, I feel like the Smiths are the kind of family that would just want to be involved with this. Aww. It's sweet he's got Dirk's blue eyes and black hair. And actually, since the Smiths have come over, what if they brought with them a few more little bits for Lilith and the baby? So they could have brought her this. I've always thought this is a cute little object, so we'll pop that there. And then I wonder, I don't really like this stool. I'm gonna get rid of this and of the table like that, and then we've got space for, what's the little baby chair? Here it is. And we're not going to have matching colours because these are all hand-me-downs, but yeah, I think that's a cute little setup. Yeah, we'll go with that. I feel like the Smiths would have loads of leftover baby stuff from when Jenny had kids, right? So it only makes sense. So we'll pop the baby down there. And chat a little bit more with Johnny. And we've got these two outside, just loving life. I've always thought they were a cute couple. There we go, we've got everyone here. The full gang. Come on, put Damien down, Lilith. Have something to eat. Oh, now it's all gone off. Way to go. Oh, you two, please don't eat that. But yeah, so the Smiths seem to have taken on a bit of a guiding role towards Lilith, you know, trying to look out for her and make sure she's all right. They are a very family-oriented bunch, so that makes sense for them, I think. Yeah, experiencing a family with this kind of warmth is a bit of a new thing for Lilith, you know, they're like kinder to her in a way than her own parents ever were, so it's a little bit jarring to experience for sure. And I think there might even be a part of her that finds it a bit like unnerving, like perhaps she would not be fully trusting of their intentions. But, you know, with her circumstances, she kind of needs all the help she can get. So she's happy to go along with it for now. I think it looks like Damien is in need of some sort of attention, Lilith, so put that down. Ah, there we go. And maybe he's tired actually. Should we put him in bed? I think so. There we go. Lovely. Oh, Olive Spectre, what are you doing here? Go away. Yeah, don't punch your hands like that. Very creepy. And honestly, I think it... Oh, they are all so sweet, but I think it might be time for the Smiths to head off. I think they've helped out and they've given Lilith a bit of warmth, but it is getting kind of late and ultimately she's going to need time to bond with the new baby on her own without the Smiths kind of keeping her company. So although that doesn't stop Johnny telling a few dirty jokes to her before they head off. But yes. Jenny, no. Okay, I think it's time to say goodbye to everyone. That includes you, Jenny. Please leave. You're not sleeping in the bed. I'm not having it. Jenny, leave. Okay, she's in her pajamas. It's fine. Right, let's change the baby, Lilith. I think Lilith's gonna get to bed as well. So all in all, it seems to be going quite well for Lilith so far. She has had the baby, she's got a family in Strangetown who have been very kind to her, very helpful and supportive. So it looks like everything's gonna be alright, at least for now. I suppose theoretically, pollination technician number 9 is retired, so he could come over and babysit. And I do want her to be able to at least leave the lot occasionally so she can meet people and just so the gameplay isn't too monotonous, because I think when you're just on one lot for a really long time, it can get kind of boring. So yeah, we'll see about that. She does seem to be taking to motherhood quite well so far. I haven't had to direct her much. She's just looking after him on her own, which has been nice to see. Look at him. Oh. No, so we'll put him back in his crib. And then I think we're going to figure out a new outfit for Lilith now that she's had the baby. Right, so if we want her to have another baby while she's still a teenager, she will need to get pregnant within the next day, which doesn't give us much time. So I think we're gonna switch over to the Grunt family so they can get to know her a little better. But first, let's just pick out a little outfit for her. Yeah, I think this feels Lilithy while still feeling, you know, weather appropriate. So we'll go with that. Right, so we're gonna leave Lilith here for now and check in with the Grunt family, where they're gonna have Lilith over after school, and we'll cut over to that. Okay, so I've been playing the Grunt family for a couple of days, and I was planning on having Lilith come over after school, but look, she is what happens to be walking by. Perhaps she's on her way back from like a quick grocery run or something like that. I guess her house is like down there, so Tank does have a locked want to be friends with Lilith, so I think we're gonna go and greet her. Unfortunately, Rip does have to go to work, so he's gonna miss her. But it's Sunday, and look, it looks like he also likes what he sees. Ophelia is visiting at the moment as well, so perhaps this is an opportunity for Ophelia to meet Lilith as well. I would like her to have at least one female friend, other than Jenny, I guess. Right, and Rip is off to work, but it looks like Lilith did take note of him. Interesting. Oh, for goodness sake, these two, they're never going to make friends at this rate. He is warning her about Johnny, apparently. He's like, watch out for the Smiths, they're probably planning on abducting you, doing all sorts of crazy experiments. Lilith is not particularly worried about that, although she does note there seems to be a lot of talk of people getting abducted and having experiments done on them in this town. Tank apparently has a lot of tall tales to tell her about the sort of place Strangetown is and the sort of trouble she could get into. You know, he's like, you left your baby alone with the Smiths, because I think pollination technician number 9 maybe would be watching the baby, or Jenny, and he's not happy to hear about this. But she gossips about how actually the one having medical experiments on him is in fact nervous subject. Okay, he really does seem to fancy her, so that's something. I do want these two to get to know each other as well, so this is fine. Ophelia, of course, is a family sim, so I think she would be quite intrigued about Lilith's baby. But it looks like... Tank, calm down. Looks like Ophelia maybe disapproves a little bit. But they won't stop gossiping about Nervous, who I guess lives right down there. Talking about how when he was a teenager, he was causing all sorts of trouble in town. Okay, but he has made friends with her now, and he has want to play with her, which he's achieving. He's got to want to appreciate her as well. There we go for a back rub. Okay, interesting. Olive, go away. Creeping us out. Ah. Okay, they are becoming friends then. And they do seem to have this sort of boisterous dynamic with the noogies, the punching each other, which I think Tank can appreciate. Easier to relate to a girl who makes her affection known through physical violence, I think, for someone like Tank. Oh, he just keeps rolling once about her. We'll tickle her, but then we'd better get to the toilet. Or it's too late. And Rip very much takes note of what's going on here. Him and Tank do not get along. And not only that, Lilith does seem to find him attractive. So let's... No, Rip, don't go to bed. Let's have a little talk with your brothers. No, okay, I guess it's Jenny looking after the kid, not PT9. Okay, so far, so good. What does Lilith think of Rip? Okay, so he's going to compliment her and maybe even attempt a flirt. But she is not receptive. Okay, and Rip is quite tired anyway, so I'm not sure how much further we'll get with them. And Lilith is apparently making herself at home as always. I'm not sure the general would make much of Lilith with her being very rebellious looking and a teenage pregnancy. That is not something he would approve of, especially for his son. But it seems like he won't have to worry since Tank is falling asleep anyway. Alright, and I think this conversation with General Buzz is getting very awkward very quickly with him lecturing her about, you know, teenage relationships and being careful. And yeah, she's gonna head off home because she's got to get back to her kid. So off she goes. But Tank, we're learning, very much interested in Lilith. He would not stop rolling once related to her. You can see his bar is all about her. You know, being rejected for a tickle, being rejected for entertaining her. And I suppose Lilith is also his very first friend he's made other than his dad. So yeah, could be a big deal for Tank. Hey, Tank wants to bring Lilith Pleasant home from school. That's definitely okay. And Rip wants to bring Ophelia home. Yeah, why not? Okay. All right. So we've got a bit of a study group going on here. I'm imagining Lilith does have a babysitter for little Damien. I think perhaps the Smiths have been helping out a fair bit. Stop fighting each other. I can't believe this is constantly happening. I wonder if Rip would ask Lilith on a date. He's got 2 bolts with her, and Tank also has 2 bolts with her. Though Tank does seem more keen on her, and Rip did bring Ophelia home from school, so let's chat. Oh dear. Alright, so we've got Rip and Ophelia watching TV inside, and it looks like Tank and Lilith are gonna play together outside. And maybe we're getting the constant weather updates. Jenny, I just said you were babysitting. Okay, fine. Pollination Technician 9's babysitting. Who cares? Oh, and then I guess this will be Buck. Alright, him and Lilith are now best friends. But considering Rip and Tank don't really get along with each other, and Rip also is a romance sim, I actually think it would be interesting if Rip asked Lilith on a date. I don't know if she'll go for it, but he does have the want to ask someone on a date. And yeah, Lilith's right here. Her face is stuck like that. Oh, I forgot Ophelia had a thing for him. That's awkward. Well, Ophelia, you're going out with Johnny, so... Okay, she does want to slow dance with him, have a pillow fight. Let's see if we can make something happen here. Tank, I think, would not be completely thrilled to see his brother flirting with the girl he's got his sights on. And it looks like Tank is going to take that opportunity to start playing with Lilith instead. Interesting. She is on a date with Rip right now, but I think maybe she has better chemistry with Tank. Well, see, she does fancy Rip, but oh, the music stopped, but you know, we're still getting a vibe. Interesting. Oh, okay, the date is over. Oh, and he stepped on her feet, which, yeah, maybe not the best. Okay, and they've ended it with just a hug. But she is interested in him still. I wonder what Lilith's preference is between the 2 grunt boys. Yeah, I think it is between them, since she didn't have great chemistry with Johnny, and I feel like Johnny and Ophelia are already pretty with each other, so it wouldn't make that much sense for him to cheat on her with Lilith. I think the grunt boys are naturally very competitive with each other, so it kind of makes sense as well that they would fight over her a bit. But that said, although Lilith is sitting down as if she's going to eat, I actually think Lilith would need to say goodbye at this point and head home, because after all, she's got a baby waiting for her at home, and I don't think Lilith would want to spend too long away from him. So while she's come home with Tank and, you know, hung out with him and Rip a little bit, I don't think she'd So we're going to say goodbye to Lilith and join her back on her own lot. That's the wrong way, Lilith. Your house is the other side of town. Oh well.
sa balon.
Yajada, Sabalaj.
Salak po.
Aha.
Balon.